Welcome class 8. Today we are going to learn about a new poem that is On the Grasshopper and Cricket by John Keats. John Keats was an English romantic poet. He was one of the main figure of the second generation of romantic poets. John Keats was one of the romantic poet. He loves nature. Most of his poems will be dealing with the themes of nature, the love for the nature, and he got the title a romantic poet also. And his works has been so famous with the other poets like Shelley and Lord Bond. And he died at the very young age at 25 due to tuberculosis. Okay. Now, let's go into the poem first. Have you seen this creature? Can you name the creature? Which creature is it? Okay, I'll show another picture. Can you say what is this? Yeah, you might be familiar with this one, right? This is grasshopper and this is cricket. Okay, these are the these are the living creatures that make these creatures look similar, but what is the peculiarity? Can you say what is the difference between these two living creature? Cricket is this is one is an omnivorous that they eat everything, and grasshopper it's an herbivorous, and it's famous for its color, its light color, and this one the cricket is famous for its sound that they make a very shrill sound. In the night time we can say they make a very shrill sounds. So both of them are similar in some ways, but there is a small difference. Like this one is a very light, is green in color, and it's herbivorous, and this one is omnivorous. Okay, through this poem, grasshopper and cricket are not appear to be a very character in this poem, but each of these creatures symbolizes its suggestion that something is else, something. Through them the poet is giving a very important message through this poem. Now let's go into the poem and let's see what the poet is telling about. Grasshopper and cricket. The poetry of the earth is never dead, and when all the birds are faint with the hot sun and hide in cooling trees, a voice will run from hedge to hedge about the new mown mead. That is the grasshopper, he takes the lead. In summer luxury he has never done with his delights, for when tired out with fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed. The poetry of earth is ceasing never. On a lone winter evening, when the frost has wrought a silence from the stove, there shrills cricket songs in warmth increasing ever, and seems to one in drowsiness half lost. The grasshoppers among some crazy grassy hills. So here John Keats says that as I told you, he is a poet that loves nature. Every poet has been attracted towards the beauty of nature. John Keats is no exception to this, and he finds nature beautiful in all season, not excluding in the hot summer or hot in cold winter. He says that earth is always singing. The poetry of earth is never fades means the earth is full of poetry. It says that the earth is always singing when all birds are faint with hot sun means when the birds stop singing in the hot summer and hide in cooling trees, a voice will run. When it is very summer season, they cannot beat with the summer season. They find a cool place in the shade of the trees. They will be finding a cool place in the trees, and they will be sitting there. They won't be roaming here and there. They won't sing songs at all, and hide in the cooling trees, a voice will run from hedge to hedge about the new mown mead. But at that time, we can see that when the birds are silent in a very cool, in a hot summer season, we can find the grasshopper singing and flying from hedge to hedge. That means And the grasshopper voice runs from hedge to hedge because the grasshopper finds pleasure in the beauty of the hot season also, and first to reveal in it and without any tiredness, it is singing its song. That is the grasshoppers. He takes the lead in the summer luxury he has never done. With his delights, for when tired out with fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed. The poet says that we can find the grasshopper singing and flying from hedge to hedge. He sings tirelessly, and even he is tired, he rests under some weeds, and he finds this season also very beautiful to him. And when the birds are silent, this grasshopper is singing. So here the poet says that the main theme of the poem is that nature is always happy. Nature is never sad. It always sings through the medium like grasshopper or cricket. Since the grasshopper sings in summer and cricket in cold winter. So here the poet is giving symbolizing that the grasshopper is meant for singing in the summer season, and the cricket it's for the cold winter season. Through this poem, the theme of the poem is that the nature is always happy, the nature is never sad. When the birds finds very hot summer, they used to sit in the shade of the trees. They won't hear and they won't sing the song, but at that time we can hear the voice of grasshopper that is singing. That is like the here the poet says that the nature is always happy through some mediums like grasshopper or any other living creature. The nature is always seems to be happy. Nature is never sad. It is always singing through the medium of grasshopper or cricket. So when the grasshopper goes on singing without tired. When it get tired, it rests under the new mown meat, means in a freshly cut grass or hay. When it is tired, it go and it lay under the fresh cut grass or hay. In the summer luxury has never done with his delights, for when tired out with fun. Here the poet says that the grasshopper it makes the most of the summer by hardly taking any break from his enjoyment. The grasshopper does not take shelter in the trees like the birds. He does not tired easily, but when he feels tired of the fun, he is having rest under the pleasant array of weeds. And the poem is in the 40 lines. The first 8 lines are called octave, and the second 6 lines are called sesest. Okay, we have gone through the first 8 lines. That is the poetry of earth from he rests at the ease beneath some pleasant weed. Now we will see the rhyme of the poem. The first line dead, the last word is dead, so A. The second line with the hot sun, see the syllable sun, so the rhyming pattern is B. And the third is run, again the same sound, that is sun run, so again the same rhyming pattern it should be, that is B. Again from the hedge to hedge about the new mown mead, again A, because the first line never dead. Med, same sound, so again A, the same syllable we have to put it, A. That is the grasshoppers, he takes the lead, again same, dead, met, led, so A. In the summer luxury he has never done, again B, because the second line, look at the second line, when all the birds are faint with the hot sun, N, so okay, so done, B, again B, with his delights for when tired out of with fun. Okay, sun, fun. So the rhyming scheme is again B. He rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed, dead, id, same sound, same the same syllable. Okay, so A. Okay, the next 6 lines we are going to discuss in the next class. Okay, I hope you understood the first 8 lines. So when the poetry is in the 14 lines, we will say the poetry is called the sonnet. What do you call sonnet? So the first 8 lines is called octave. Okay, the second 6 lines are called sustest. Okay, so the second 6 lines we are going to learn in the next class. Okay, students, the central idea of the poem is that the tendency of the grasshopper and the cricket to provide us entertainment and joy to us through the respective song. Their songs are the poetry of earth, the poetry that never ceases to be, even during every extreme circumstances. So the poet here says that whatever happens to the environment, like whenever it is too hot or too cold, the nature seems to be happy. Nature seems to be happy, and it will express its happiness through some living creatures like grasshopper or cricket or any other animals or any other birds or living creature. The hard words beneath means under. New mown mead means freshly cut grass or hay. Shrills means sound out. It's a very ear-piercing sound. Thank you.